Welcome to Coaching for Creatives with Kirsten. My name is Kirsten Call. I'm a therapist-trained life coach and a children's book author. Together, we'll get the drama out of our lives and onto the page. Let's get started. You are listening to episode 82, Loving Better. When I got engaged, my mother-in-law gave me a book called The 5 Languages of Love by Gary Chapman. It's a book I've gone back to many, many times over the years. In fact, a few years ago, we had our kids take the tests in the book to determine what made them feel loved, and we challenged the family to do one thing for each person in the house each day that would make them feel loved, a kind thing, right? We even posted people's love languages on the fridge as a reminder. So, according to Gary Chapman, we all have love languages or particular ways of feeling loved. And we usually try to love people in the ways that make us feel loved. Gary Chapman's point is we need to learn the love languages of our people and love them the ways that make them feel loved. So the love languages that he talks about are physical touch, quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, and gift giving. My main love languages are quality time and physical touch. So I told my kids, it's super easy to help me feel loved, guys. Just give me a hug and I'm good. If I don't have quality time or physical touch, I start to feel disconnected from my family and friends. So anyway, I highly recommend reading and implementing the 5 Languages of Love. It's a great, really concrete way to love better. What does it mean to love better? How do we love better? Well, here are a few ideas. Number 1, think loving thoughts. I know this seems obvious, but sometimes we have a hard time thinking loving thoughts when people are doing things that frustrate us. Maybe someone cuts us off in traffic. Maybe our kids leave their wet towels on the wood floor. We don't have to love the person in traffic who cuts us off, but it certainly feels better to think loving thoughts. We might naturally think, what's that guy's problem? That was so inconsiderate, or even, what an incompetent driver. But instead, we can choose to think, perhaps they're rushing to the hospital. Maybe they're having a very bad day. They must be in a hurry for a reason. As I've talked about a lot on this podcast, we can choose what we think. We can choose to think loving thoughts, and that makes all the difference in the way that we feel about our lives, right? Okay, number 2 is choose love. Years ago, life coach Brooke Castillo said something I've never forgotten. She was talking about love and posed this question: what if your husband exists just so you can love him? I've got a great husband and we've been married for almost exactly 26 years. This thought transformed the way I approached our relationship. He doesn't exist for me to change him. He exists for me to love him. And to learn about love and how to do it even when someone doesn't do exactly everything in the way I envision they should do them. So when I'm frustrated, I choose love. I can even think, if there are certain little things that are frustrating to me or annoying, I intentionally choose to think that's an endearing quality. And really, isn't it true that when we first meet someone, a lot of the things that draw us to them are also things that can become frustrating later? So we can very easily change the way that we think about them if we intentionally think about it. Number 3, practice unconditional love. If you're a parent, you've already practiced loving unconditionally. We love our children no matter what they do or say, no matter their weaknesses or foibles. This leads me to number 4, which is forgive freely. I'm not suggesting anyone stay in an abusive situation. I'm not suggesting you forgive without setting boundaries. In fact, you can forgive someone completely and still not be with them, right? In normal, healthy relationships, forgiveness is a key part of loving better. Forgiveness is more for our own emotional health than the person we're forgiving anyway. They don't know what we're thinking. But when we choose to forgive, our load is lightened, and forgiveness holds space for more loving thoughts and actions. Number 5, lift people up. Who in your life makes you feel completely loved? How do they talk to you? What do they do when you are together? Lifting people up not only feels good for the person you love, but it's also so much fun to shower love on someone and for them to receive it in love. There's nothing better. Lifting others up is a beautiful way to love better because love elevates us. I just had the privilege of having my college kids and their significant others home for a week. The house was loud and chaotic. 9 very opinionated people in close quarters makes for a lot of interesting conversations and emotions. And even when there were quibbles, and there were a few, the love was palpable. I feel so grateful for each person in this family of mine, even when I'm frustrated, especially when I'm frustrated. It gives me an opportunity to stretch myself, test my love muscles, and grow them. So, as you go about your days, consider trying out some of these ways to love better. I guarantee your heart will thank you. Until next time, I'll be over here with buckets of love for you to pour over your head liberally as needed. Keep smiling. If you like what you've heard, check out my Get Yourself Unstuck program. Go to KirstenCall.com. That's KirstenCall.com and schedule a free consultation today. Coaching for Creatives is produced by Kirsten Call. Music and audio engineering by James Call.